How do you know whether you are really motivated to do something or simply excited about the idea? The answer is important because it can show beforehand whether you will be getting the results you want or end up losing steam midway. And we will unpack exactly that and more in this video about how to stay motivated through the uncertainties in life. Because if we understand how something works, we can then simply tweak it to fit our needs better, right? See, we can be motivated either by moving away from something or moving towards something. Like if you have been exercising to amp up your health and have that kind of energy that you would need for that vacation plan later this year, then that's approach motivation, pull motivation, moving towards something. But if we have been exercising to stop gaining weight, then that's avoidance. That's push motivation, moving away from something. And it's really tiring to keep running away from something, right? The fear of punishment is a very short-term motivator both for grown-ups and kids alike. So how do some people handle all the uncertainties, all the ups and downs, and still manage to achieve what they set out to get? That's because they anchor their motivation to the results that they want instead of what they would rather avoid. And that's the first strategy. Check your compass. To stay motivated through all the uncertainties, hurdles, and setbacks, begin with one question. How does doing this fit in, even in a small way, with what I want in my life? Because when we anchor our motivation to a bigger picture that's important for us, our desire for it or wanting pulls us through all the setbacks and hurdles along the way. Because when we remove fear from what's motivating us, it helps us feel more in control of our decision to show up. And having a sense of control is also at the core of feeling more confident. So that comes as an added bonus. But always remember that our motivation compass pointing towards wanting works much longer than one pointing towards avoidance. Sure, there can be motivation slumps from time to time. You know, the times when things start to feel a bit boring, the excitement kind of starts to fizzle out. But if we began right, then they simply signal that the batteries need topped up. See, it's really important to know the difference between simply feeling excited and feeling truly motivated, because we can feel excited about anything, but unless and until something connects to our interests, our instincts, and our preferences, we won't stay motivated to see that thing through to the end. That's why some motivational stuff don't usually work the same for everyone, or the reason why something that started out feeling really exciting fizzles out after a while. See, the brain structure that manages motivation is shaped by our genes and the experiences we have had over time, the dopamine pathways created over time, which essentially means that the best way how to stay motivated is to make sure that whatever we do, A, has some kind of meaning for us, and B, we get positive feedback, some kind of reward or seeing progress. But then again, if things keep working exactly as we were expecting them to, exactly as it happened yesterday, then they start to feel less and less exciting, right? That's because the neural activity triggered in the dopamine system starts to drop when there's no novelty in the situation. So in a sense, if you have your intrinsic motivation in place, uncertainties and challenges can actually add to your motivation instead of hurting it, because they can help keep things fresh. And if we can train our mind to think of challenges and hurdles this way, then it becomes really easier to stay motivated through it all. And so the second strategy, how to stay motivated, is to build automatic top-ups. Whenever a problem or a hurdle crops up that simply feels too much to handle, use second position of perceptual repositioning to distance yourself from the problem, because our emotions have a way of blowing things out of proportion. So think, what would you advise your best friend if they came to you for advice on the same thing? Now, with that advice in mind, create an action plan. But instead of just one stop at the end, create milestones along the way. Smaller chunks of tasks so that anticipating success becomes easier. Remember how dopamine is released when we anticipate success? Yes, for that. Because the motivation to act needs at least some expectation of success. But make sure that the milestones are measurable, not just vague ideas like more or better. because measurable milestones build a system of feedback into whatever we do. Can you imagine if your GPS, instead of telling you exactly how much time is left or how much distance is left, simply told you to keep going just a bit longer for just a few more miles? It would get really frustrating real soon, right? Now, this strategy is for when challenges and hurdles hurt our motivation. But what about when the resistance and the doubt comes from within? What about when burnout or self-doubt or a lack of progress causes our motivation to slump? Because there are a lot of things out of our control that can actually affect our energy and our willingness to keep showing up. They can create periods of uncertainty where we start doubting what's possible for us, what can we do, or how correct are our decisions, like how someone reacted or what someone said can actually affect what we think of our ability in a totally different area of our life. See, our brain's main task is survival, and so if something feels stressful, it tries to keep us away from all such situations using whatever means necessary, even if it's in a totally different context. The different neural pathways, like the dopamine and serotonin pathways, create very powerful associations between what we do and how it made us feel physically and emotionally, and that then drives our behavior, which means that a snub from someone we look up to can actually affect how confident we feel doing something else. And even though we can't control what anyone says or does, or what's breaking out in the world, we can always keep some tools handy to stop our mood from deciding whether we do what needs to be done or sit scrolling on the phone. And so the third strategy, how to stay motivated through the uncertainties in life, is to keep the tools ready to get back on track. And one of the quickest ways to start seeing value in showing up and going through the grind is to do an opportunity cost analysis. See, whatever we choose comes at the cost of what we are leaving out, right? In first grader terms, if we are choosing to get the chocolate ice cream, then that is coming at the cost of the 3 other flavors that we are not choosing. That's its cost. So if one day we feel like we can't see any value in showing up for something, ask, if I give this up, what will be the cost? Will it come at the cost of what I have always wanted to do? Will it come at the cost of my health, the quality of my relationships, or my peace of mind? And depending on your answer, it will either get you in the mood to start taking action or will show you whether you have been working on your priorities or someone else's. But these strategies work best when you know how to deal with uncertainties in life every day without feeling stressed. And this video will show you quickly what works best. I hope you found this video useful. Take care, and I'll meet you in the next video.